Humble black janitor alerts billionaire CEO about his confidant. The following day, a startling event unfolded. Her sneakers whispered on the polished stone floor. She glided like a ghost, as always, tidying after the opulence of others, polishing bronze railings, erasing smudges from glass, elevator panels, clearing wastebaskets, left brimming by tycoons who never met her. Gaze. Her name was Emma, a reserved black woman in her late 20s, clad in a plain navy uniform with a white-edged collar and rubber gloves. To most, she was unseen, merely the janitor. But tonight she found her voice, and it quivered with urgency, for she had witnessed something she wasn't meant to see. Now she stood before Noah Whitmore, CEO of Whitmore Enterprises, one of the youngest billionaires at 34, with a chiseled jaw, crisp black suit, blue tie, and eyes like frost. Everyone in the tower deferred to Noah, everyone except Emma. Tonight, she wasn't a janitor. She was a beacon of truth. It started the previous evening. She had stayed late, not by choice, but necessity. Her mother's medical bills had skyrocketed. Her younger brother's school fees were overdue, and if rent wasn't paid by week's end, the callous landlord of her rundown apartment would toss them out with a smirk. So she lingered, wiping down glass panels on the executive level. That's when she heard murmurs from the conference room. She halted, cloth in hand, concealed in the shadowy corridor. Inside, behind frosted glass, she saw Noah's CFO, Ethan Carter, the man everyone called his brother in spirit. But Ethan wasn't alone. He spoke hushedly with a man in a charcoal coat, discussing account codes, offshore transfers, and erasing data before the quarterly review. Emma stiffened, her pulse racing. She leaned nearer, heart pounding. She couldn't catch every word, but she grasped enough to know something was gravely amiss. When the man departed, Ethan slipped a USB stick into Noah's personal computer. Emma stifled a gasp. Ethan glanced up, alarmed, but she ducked behind the wall just in time. Sleep eluded her that night. Now, 12 hours later, Emma stood in the golden-hued hallway outside Noah's private office, hands clammy inside her gloves, praying her courage wouldn't falter. This wasn't her role. She'd scrubbed restrooms, cleaned messes, scraped gum from beneath oak desks. But she'd never confronted authority, never addressed a CEO. She nearly retreated, almost convinced herself it wasn't her fight. But her mother's words echoed, "Child, you can't halt the tempest, but you can tap on the door and warn them to shut their shutters." So Emma lifted her hand and knocked. "Sir?" she said as he opened the door, her voice trembling with resolve. Noah's brow creased. "Wrong office?" "No, sir. I'm sorry to disturb you. I need to share something critical." He eyed her up and down, his gaze suggesting she was as noticeable as a chair. "I'm pressed for time," he said icily. "If this is about cleaning, see your manager." "No, sir, it's not about cleaning." She swallowed hard. "It's about Ethan." That caught him. Noah's eyes narrowed. "Ethan Carter?" She nodded. "I saw something last night on the executive floor, something you should know." He glanced at his watch, then back at her. She pushed forward, clinging to her courage. "I was wiping down the conference room area. I didn't mean to eavesdrop, but I saw him with someone. They spoke of accounts, moving funds, deleting files. He used a USB stick, sir, in your computer." Noah's jaw tightened. "You're claiming my CFO, my closest ally, is stealing from the company?" "No," she said swiftly, then corrected. "I mean, yes, but I'm not accusing. I'm just reporting what I saw." "Do you have evidence?" she faltered. "No, sir, I don't. I was afraid." He stepped closer. "You realize if this is untrue, you could lose your job, maybe face a lawsuit." Emma felt the ground shift beneath her. "I know, sir. I just thought you deserved to know, because if he's doing what it seems—" Her eyes brimmed with tears. "I know I'm nobody to you. I scrub floors. I don't even have health coverage, but I notice things, sir, because no one notices me." Noah studied her, his gaze piercing. Then coolly, "Thank you for your concern." He turned and shut the door. Emma stood frozen in the hallway, stunned. Her one chance gone. He didn't believe her. Why would he? Who trusts a janitor over a CFO? She trudged back down the polished floor, slower than ever, feeling imaginary stares and whispers. In the supply closet, her hands shook as she removed her gloves, sat by the mop bucket, and wept. She'd done what was right, and it had cost her everything. What Emma didn't know was that behind that door, Noah didn't resume work. He stared at the computer on his desk, the same one Ethan had touched yesterday, now acting oddly. Could it be true? He lifted the phone but didn't call. Instead, he accessed the security terminal, pulling up hallway, cameras. Then he checked the conference room feed and froze. His face paled. At 11:03 p.m. the previous night, there was Ethan with a man in a charcoal coat and the USB stick. Emma had spoken the truth. Noah sat, motionless, staring at the screen. The footage didn't deceive. Clear as day, Ethan, his CFO, his dearest friend, leaned over Noah's private computer in the executive conference room at 11:03 p.m. In a dark suit, sleeves up, he inserted a USB, typed briefly, glanced around nervously, then nodded to a man in a charcoal coat just off frame. Noah paused, the video. He couldn't breathe. It was like seeing a stranger in his friend's skin. He rewound, noting Ethan's calm, practiced manner. No mistake. It was betrayal. And the one who saw it first? The woman he'd dismissed, the janitor. Noah didn't sleep that night. He pulled every log, every financial record. He summoned his internal auditor at 3 a.m. The books were filthier than he'd feared. Funds had been siphoned for months. Small, sums hidden in fake supplier charges, funneled through offshore shell companies. The total, $18.4 million gone. The next morning, Ethan didn't appear at work. His apartment was vacant, car gone, phone off, vanished. Noah stood in the marble lobby, gazing at his reflection in the glass. His empire had nearly collapsed and he'd been blind. But someone hadn't. A woman in a navy uniform with rubber gloves and worn shoes. She'd risked all to warn him, and he'd dismissed her. No more. Emma had clocked in when security summoned her to the CEO. Her heart sank. Was she fired? Sued? She wiped her palms on her trousers and followed through the lobby, feeling every stare. She'd never been here in daylight. Entering Noah's office, the doors closed. He stood immediately. "Emma," he said, his voice gentler than before, "please, sit." She hesitated. "Sir, if this is about yesterday, I swear I wasn't trying to—" "You were right," he cut in. She froze. "What?" He pointed to a laptop. "I checked the footage, the records. Ethan was stealing millions. He's gone." Emma's legs nearly gave out. Noah stepped around his desk, meeting her at eye level, humble. "You spoke truth when no one else looked. You saw what I missed. You spoke, risking everything." Emma's voice shook. "I thought I'd be fired." "You nearly saved me from losing everything," he replied. "You saved this company." Tears filled her eyes. "No one's ever trusted me like that," she whispered. "Well, from now on," he said, "that changes." That afternoon, Noah called an urgent board meeting. Executives filed in, murmuring nervously. They gasped when Emma entered behind Noah and sat beside him. "Let me introduce someone you've all ignored," Noah said. "This is Emma Thompson. She's been here for our years as a janitor. But yesterday, she saw what no one else did. Because of her, we stopped a theft that could have ruined Whitmore Enterprises." Whispers spread. "She warned me about Ethan Carter, and she was right." He turned to Emma. "She doesn't clean floors anymore." He faced the board. "She's now our Director of Internal Ethics and Oversight, reporting to me." Gasps echoed. Emma blinked, stunned. She hadn't been told. "Sir, I don't have a degree." "You have something greater," Noah said. "Integrity, bravery, and eyes that see what others miss. And as of today," he added, "you'll have a full scholarship if you choose to study, paid by the company." We'll cover your family's medical costs, and you'll never scrub floors again. The news broke the next day. From janitor to executive, the cleaner who saved a billion-dollar empire. Media went wild, but Emma stayed humble. She avoided interviews, didn't boast, just arrived on time, observant, respectful. Now she walked taller, wore a blazer instead of gloves, spoke in meetings, brought fresh perspectives. She saw what others overlooked. Noah became a better leader. He changed policies, starting a feedback system for all staff, from interns to cleaners. He revised hiring to value integrity over credentials. He roamed the halls, learned every name because of Emma. Months later, at the company's annual gala, Noah took the stage in his black suit and blue tie, but he wasn't the focus. There was a woman everyone ignored, he said. She worked in quiet, ate alone, but when it mattered, she spoke, the boldest truth. He gestured to Emma in the front row, in an elegant navy gown, hair styled, radiating dignity. She saved us. She saved me. That's why we're launching the Emma Thompson Honor Grant to uplift unheard voices in business. True wisdom doesn't always come from corner suites. The room roared with applause. Emma wiped a tear, feeling seen, valued and home for the first time. If this tale stirred your soul, don't scroll past. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications to catch every powerful story of compassion, sacrifice, and redemption. We share emotional, dramatic, life-altering tales that linger long after the video ends. One click supports our channel and helps us craft stories that matter. Subscribe now. It means more than you know.